It is the 25th of November 2022, and it's time for another AYN LOKI Q&A summary. Let's get to it. Hello and welcome to Retro Breeze, and I'm here again to summarize today's Q&A on the AYN Discord channel. Just like last time, I've divided the questions up into a few different sections, but I haven't changed the questions or answers at all, for the most part, except to bring clarity to the question or the answer. Let's go ahead and jump right in. The first section is product progress, and the question, what is the progress you made during the last few weeks? And the answer from AYN, 1. We finally have a full-speed USB 4.0 working up to 40 GB per second and wake up with S3, S4, S5, which are different sleep modes. Number 2. We made in-cell touch, TDDI, work in USB mode, which means that this IP should be reusable for all LOKI SKUs. All mobile screens only use standard I2C protocol, but it is a nightmare in Windows to support I2C touch. As everyone knows, even we can implement a customized driver for I2C touch, it is still required for Windows certification, and different LOKI SKUs might require different drivers, different certifications, which will be a big nightmare. But, however, thanks for all the hard work of AYN software engineers, now we finally have made a standard USB HID-based touch possible, and it works very well on LOKI Macs with 10-finger multi-touch support, simultaneously and seamlessly. And number 3, LOKI has passed the aging test on a 28-watt TDP mode. Number 4, X-axis vibration motor is the only thing that's not finalized for the LOKI Mac. And number 5, MD design is now quite near to be finished. So let's go over these real quick. So first of all, we have successfully working USB 4, that's perfect. They have created an entirely new way to process input, or touch input that is, on the LOKI Macs, which will also apply to all the other LOKI models too. It basically makes it easier for them to implement touch, which I think is great. And yeah, congratulations AYN engineers on working that out. The LOKI has passed its aging test, that's good, and they just need to finish the motor, and the design is nearly finished as well. So good stuff all around for the first question. Next question, how is the LOKI Macs development going? And the answer, both LOKI and LOKI Macs are going very well, and they only need to finalize the vibration motor. Next question, does anyone know if there's anything for the Mini Pro? And the answer, the Intel Mini Pro failed to boot for the first hardware edition, unfortunately, and we are waiting for the second hardware edition to come back. As for the AMD Mini Pro version, since AMD just released the spec and engineering sample weeks ago, it won't start until this December. But don't be too sad, the good news is, all the verified peripherals except for the vibration motor are all working in LOKI Macs, and it can easily be reused in the LOKI Mini Pro. So this is a really big disappointment in my opinion. In fact, I think this is really, I really don't know how to describe it. So what they're saying is that the Mini Pro does not even remotely exist even in a prototype right now. Mini Pro pre-orderers, I'm really sorry. It's awful, and this don't be sad thing is in really bad taste, honestly. I suppose what they're getting at is that it will be a faster development cycle for the Mini Pro since they can reuse everything from the Macs. But even so, it's just not a good situation. Next question, what innovative features will LOKI have that will make it stand out? And the answer, nothing sounds to be a breakthrough innovation, but we do have some small steps that have moved ahead already. And basically they are mostly hardware stuff at the current phase. Number 1, the screen refresh rate features, 40Hz, 50Hz, 60Hz. Number 2, flexible resolutions like 800 by 600, 1024 by 768, 1280 by 720, etc. 3, Hall sensor-based joysticks and shoulder buttons. 4, low-power video bridge technologies. 5, natural USB HID-based touch with 10-finger multi-touch support. 6, natural Xbox gamepad protocol support. 7, the best X-axial vibration motor experience. And 8, good ergonomics and low-power TDDI screen. And we are the first one that supports TDDI in-cell touch. So, okay, I get it. I get it. But I just don't think it's very inspiring to say nothing's a breakthrough innovation. The issue that AYN have is that everybody wants the same from these mini PCs, right? Or sorry, I keep calling them that, portable PCs. We want power, and that's it. So there's not really much incentive to do anything innovative. And what really is there? I think that the Steam Deck really did this with its dual touchpads and its weird design, but yeah, I get it, I get the answer, but yeah, it's just not very inspiring, is it? Sorry, I'm actually not complaining here. Anyway, next section is delivery, which covers shipments, etc. The question: what is left to finish Loki and get it shipped to customers? The answer: Loki and Loki Max will be the first one to release, and it's just that the X-axial vibration motor has not been finalized. Next question: how many Loki Max will be released during the launch? Good question. And the answer: we will plan the first batches in order, such as 50 pieces, 300 pieces, 1,000 pieces. So basically a phased rollout. Next question: when should I expect my Loki Max to arrive? And the answer: 2023, Q1. So pretty much the same information as last time. They seem pretty set on this Q1. All the best, that's all I have to say. I'm still a bit skeptical, to be honest. Then again, if these motors are the only thing holding them back, then hey, hopefully it might actually be almost ready. The next section is design, where we're talking about the shell and stuff like that. Question: what will the plastic shell texture look like? And the answer: it is a little bit wider and higher than the current Odin. We will reveal the rendering once the MD design is really done, I guess. So hopefully in the beginning of December we can finalize the MD design. So yeah, a little bit wider and higher than the current Odin. Again, I have to admit I'm a little bit disappointed in this because they kind of sold this based on renders that it was going to look exactly like the Odin. Clearly it's not. I'm also a little bit worried that if this is going to have the same screen size as the Odin, any bigger of a shell is going to start dwarfing the screen. But hey, I'll hold my tongue until we actually see it. Next question: what are the dimensions of the Loki Max, and when can we see the new Loki design? And the answer: we will reveal the details in the middle of December. So actually that has actually shifted from the end of November to now the middle of December, in terms of getting a look at the new design. Next question: will there be a clear case for Loki like there was for the Odin? And is the Loki going to be made of the same plastic as the Odin? The answer: it seems impossible for us to get the same quantity as Odin. I think high minimum order quantity blocks the possibility, but if we can reach a high sales volume, I think it is still possible. Loki will share the same qualified plastic material as the Odin. Interesting, so they've had a lot less purchases of the Loki than the Odin. Not necessarily unexpected, but still. Next question: will the Loki have cracking shells like the Odin? So before I read the answer, there's this kind of thing that people call crackgate, where the shell of the Odin, I guess, is kind of brittle and it's just been cracking under regular use. I use my Odin heavily every single day and I haven't had an issue, and I've taken it apart twice. I'm not saying it doesn't happen, but I think the issue has been a little bit overblown, but that's just my opinion, maybe not. Anyway, on to the answer. No, it won't. The front shell of Odin has a metal frame that is fixed in the center, which will make heat induction of the plastic stream during plastic injection to be unbalanced. That is why the cracking shells happen. Whoa! Stop the press. Hold up. Hold on. This is an admission that there is a manufacturing flaw with the Odin in cracking shells. So I just take back exactly what I just said, because if they're admitting now that there's a manufacturing issue causing the cracking, that changes the situation a lot. Should that be covered under warranty? I think so. Anyway, let me continue with the answer. The front shell of the Loki and the center metal frame are designed to be separated, so basically no worries, it won't be an issue. So basically what we're looking at here is a manufacturing flaw, or rather a flaw in the manufacturing process, has caused the Odin shell to lose its structural integrity during the injection process. Huge yikes. Big old yikes. I don't know, I kind of feel like all these people who are complaining about the cracked shells should maybe get new ones now. Anyway, I'm just going to move on from that. Next question: what suggestions have influenced the design of Loki? And the answer: 1. Whole swappable sticks. 2. People like big sticks the same as Xbox gamepad. 3. To give enough travel to hole-based shoulder buttons. 4. To deliver better vibration experience. 5. High quality speakers which require more room. And 6. Better ergonomics. Some great suggestions here. I am kind of interested about this Xbox gamepad thing. I agree that big sticks are really nice, like on the Steam Deck, but on a small device, I'm not too sure, and I really wonder where they're actually taking this feedback from, because they don't have like an open forum like this in their Discord where they're literally asking for feedback on certain designs. So where is this coming from? AYN keeps saying this, that they're taking on board like what people want, so maybe they're private emails, but Anyway, I'd kind of like to know where they're drawing their information from. So enough travel to the whole base shoulders, that's good, yeah, that's very important. High quality speakers which require more room, excellent, I'm all for that, especially after having a Steam Deck. It really makes every other device sound awful in comparison. And better ergonomics are always good. Next question, when will we see renders for the LOKI Max? Answer, before the middle of December. Next question, will the LOKI Max's button symbols be printed or molded? And the answer is molded, so no worries about the label scraping off then. Next question, will there be an atomic purple LOKI Max in the future? Oh my goodness, really? I like atomic purple as much as everybody else, but when you have an atomic purple, handheld, extra powerful gaming PC, is that a step too far? I don't know. Anyway, the answer really is, please refer to the aforementioned answer. Too early to answer, and it depends on the sale volume. I think they're talking about here the plastic case question, wherein if they get enough orders they might be able to do it, but probably not. Next question, is the plastic smudge or fingerprint resistant? And the answer, it will be fingerprint resistant. Take notes, Powkitty. Next question, I'm curious about how the AYN heads-up display software could be quickly accessed during gameplay, for example mapped to a rear button or something. And the answer, we have 2 more buttons in the front shell, and it can be used as a shortcut to the AYN heads-up display software. Cool, so kind of like the Steam Deck has its little Steam overlay button, something similar here but 2 of them, interesting. I wonder if the other will be a show desktop button, probably. Next question, have the ergonomics been improved by the new design? And the answer, yes. Next question, does the LOKI Mini Pro use the same gamepad and sticks as the LOKI and LOKI Max? And the answer is yes. So I think that these designs are going to vary depending on what you get, but I think overall the overall design and hardware is going to be pretty similar between them. So the next section here is hardware, where we talk about components and stuff like that. And the question, is there a chance for 48Hz screen to play 24 frames a second movies without screen tearing? The answer, we're not supporting 48Hz yet, only 40, 50 and 60Hz, but literally speaking, a 2x refresh rate won't cause any problem. Next question, have the heat pipes passed the stress and aging tests? And the answer is yes for the LOKI Max and the LOKI. Next, are the LEDs and vibration motor working now? And the answer, this week we have finally gotten the touch panel working. LEDs have worked weeks before, and the last item is this X-Axial's vibration motor, which will start the design from next week. Okay, that's kind of weird, because before they said it wasn't working, but I guess what they really mean is that it hasn't even, they haven't even made it yet, so yeah. Okay, anyway, next question. Will the LED lights be able to do different patterns? Extremely important question. The answer is yes, they will, which is disappointing in its own way because it means you won't be able to play your LOKI on Christmas Day this year with flashing red and green lights, which would have been nice if it was launching on time. Anyway, I'm going to leave that right there. Next question. Could you elaborate when you said the 2 joysticks are swappable to be whole base or not? And the answer was yes, it will be whole swappable. Wow, that is not an elaboration at all. I think the answer that this user is looking for is something along the lines of, you will be able to swap out the joysticks to be either whole base joysticks or not. I'm guessing that's what they mean. But it still doesn't answer the question, will it come with them or not? I really don't care either way, honestly. I'm kind of sick of the whole base joystick whole thing going on right now, to be honest. Next question. Has there been any change to the screen size, and also would it be possible to make a bezel-less screen like the AYN Neo 2, but without the glass? The answer, probably impossible, but we controlled the bezel to be as small as possible. So basically they're not going to match the AYN Neo 2 design, which is fine with me, but the bezel will hopefully be very small. But the other thing to think about here is the screen bezel size isn't as important as the body to screen ratio size. And that's something that I'm kind of worried about on the LOKI at this point. Until we see the renders, we won't know. Next question. Are you guys considering a model with trackpads like on the Steam Deck? And the answer, it will change the entire design concept. Sorry, the answer is no. Fair enough, but I mean, I do think this will be the next thing for the next generation of portable PCs. I really hope they have touchpads like the Deck. Next question, is the RAM upgradable? The answer, for LOKI and LOKI Max, no. For LOKI Mini Pro, no. And for LOKI Zero, yes. A follow-up question, so the lowest end model has upgradable RAM, but the higher end models don't. And the answer to that is yes, since the working frequency of the lowest end are significantly lower, which makes it possible. So basically they're using better, faster, yet non-upgradable RAM in the higher end models, and lower, slower, interchangeable RAM for the lower end. Fair enough. I think personally I would rather have non-upgradable RAM that's really, really, really good than upgradable RAM that just will never get to that same level no matter what you put in there. Next question. Which speakers do you plan to use? Please make sure that the sound will be good out of the box. I've owned AYN Neo devices and all of them sound like garbage when you start using them. Only third-party software makes the device sound okay. And the answer, yes, we would choose the branded speaker, which was the same as Apple. I promise it will be good enough out of the box for sure. So that's nice, I really do hope they have good speakers. Steam Deck is the one to beat for speakers, it's so good it's actually crazy. I don't think it will reach that level, but if they're using quality speakers and they're stereo and front-facing, maybe they will be. Oh, and that brings me to the next question. Any chance for front-facing speakers with the redesign? And the answer is yes. The speaker was redesigned to be front-facing already. Excellent. Do that for the next Odin too, please. Next question. Will the LOKI have slightly bigger ABXY buttons with less travel? I guess we're talking about compared to the Odin. The answer, yes, slightly bigger, but I think the travel should be the same as Odin. I guess some people will take issue with this because not everybody liked the high, kind of long travel Odin buttons. I liked them, but then I did change them out anyway, so I guess that says it all. Next question. Will the LOKI D-pad and buttons use switches or membrane? Oh, that's my question. And the answer is membrane by default. Okay, that's cool, but I do wish the D-pad would not use membrane and the face buttons would. I'll ask that next time. Next question. Which Mendocino will the Mini Pro use? And the answer, may I answer your question on the next QA probably in the middle of December? Alright, so no answer yet. Simply more proof that this thing does not exist whatsoever. Sad. Next question, will the LOKI Max's micro SD card reader be fast? And the answer, yes, both AMD 6800U and 6600U have good spec on micro SD card interface. Cool. So now we move on to the software section. First question, can we ask again about how deep the SteamOS compatibility will be? Will we be able to suspend the system, etc.? And the answer, it is still too early to discuss the compatibility related topics, but since we have a partnership with SteamOS, all the features that SteamOS has should be supported in the LOKI. The SteamOS compatibility and hopefully wider Linux driver support is one of the things I'm most excited about on the LOKI, so keep this up, make sure that the Linux side is well supported, and I'll be happy. Next question, will there be a docked mode if we connect LOKI to a dock? And the answer, not planned yet. But I think that's actually a bit of a deceptive answer, because the reality is Windows and Linux and every operating system on a PC will support multiple monitors and all of that. The real question here is, will it support a dock in hardware, for example via USB-C? Which I'm guessing the answer will be yes, but it's probably a good idea to confirm that. Previously, they did say that they wouldn't make their own dock because they think there'll be third-party docks that will work. So I'm guessing this question is just a non-issue. Of course it will support multiple monitors and adjustable resolution and all of that. Will there be recovery images for Windows and SteamOS for LOKI? And the answer, it won't be too difficult to back up the images for Windows and SteamOS, so yes, I think so. Well, I should hope so. Next question, will there be a dual boot manager for people who would like to dual boot? The answer, not planned yet. Well again though, if this is a PC, there should be the ability to dual boot or multi-boot or change your boot. I don't really get why the answer here is it's not planned, instead of, well, it would just naturally support that, but I don't know, maybe I'm not smart enough to know that, so let me know in the comments if you know what they mean. Next question, how will the LOKI be updated? And the answer, for Windows itself, well, Windows Update. And for the LOKI control interface, currently people can download apps from our website. I know it's very basic, but at least we have a way for people to update apps. So basically Windows will just update via Windows Update, and if you want the updated LOKI specific software, you'll get it from their website, which is fine. Next question, will there be a game manager, and when will be the next update? The answer is not determined regarding a games launcher, but on the beginning of December, we'll have the next update. All the design should be done at that time, so look forward to that, I guess. Actually, it just clicked in my head that that's like a week, so hopefully the next couple weeks should be pretty exciting. Next question, will you be putting liquid metal for the LOKI Max? Will there be an AYN HUD, basically to quickly access things, such as TDP, display brightness, and display hertz? The answer, Windows has natural display brightness control and display hertz control already, so we will focus on TDP control fan speed control for the first step apps release. I don't know what the liquid metal thing is. As for the AYN HUD answer, that really worries me, because I really don't want the LOKI and its kind of software experience to be like half-hearted at launch. I think they need to go all in and make it really excellent, not only because the competition now has months ahead of them, but just because I really don't want this like $800 computer to be an experiment. I get that Windows can control a lot of that stuff itself, and that's fine, but I don't know, this thing about like first step app release, I really don't like that terminology. I really hope they don't go in that direction, and I hope they have everything ready by the time it's ready. Next question, Do all the buttons work on Windows 10 and 11 for gaming and internet browsing? And the answer is, it works like a natural Xbox gamepad. Perfect. Next question, can you make different audio profiles for the LOKI Macs? The answer, LOKI Macs will only have one audio profile, but Windows can apply different equalizer profiles easily. Fair enough. Next, will the LOKI Macs come in stock with the AMD control panel? I have it on my Steam Deck, which is running Windows 10. Why? Why would you do that? Ugh, disgusting. Anyway, and it makes a huge difference visually. And the answer, we need to check with AMD whether this tool can be open to the public without NDA. Well, I'm guessing you'd probably be able to install the AMD control panel. I guess the issue here is whether they're allowed to actually include it with the bundled software or not. And the final software question, will it support multiple Bluetooth devices? And the answer, plainly, isn't it a Windows natural feature? It is indeed. Alright, so now we're on to the miscellaneous section. Question, can the LOKI bag have storage for micro SD cards? Could there be a LOKI bag that would be slim like a Tomtoc switch case? And the answer, not determined yet. I love this question because of all the things in this hyper powerful, like $800 portable PC, you want to make sure that the case has an SD card slot. That's fine. As for the slim Tomtoc case, that's a great idea actually. I love those cases. I have one for my Switch and it's great. Next question. Will there be an option for those of us who want a signed LOKI by Andy? Okay, haha, again, it will be my pleasure and honor. Okay, whatever. Next question. Will there be a teardown skin like on the Steam Deck? And the answer is yes. I think that they mean like that X-ray skin. It looks pretty cool on the deck. Yeah, cool. Next question, will there be LOKI skins for sale? Answer yes. Will there be a kickstand case? Answer no. Will there be a silicone grip case? Not yet. Will there be an anti-glare screen protector, which makes a huge difference in gaming on the go? And the answer, it should be possible, we have a good supplier here. Next question, what is the warranty on the LOKI? And the answer, 1 year. Next question, will you be making attachments for the LOKI Macs like a battery bank or a grip case? And the answer, not planned yet, since we are mainly for all the necessarily functionality and stability implementation for the main device unit first. As for the accessories like battery bank, grip case as well as dock, it is a little bit early to answer these questions. We need enough concentration at this phase, so please understand. Yep, good answer. I also agree that at this point, they do not want to be focusing on anything else other than the LOKI right now. Also, like a battery bank, well, you can order a battery bank like a dime a dozen these days. I don't know why that's so important to be made by AYN. Next question. Will there be a memory extension pack case for an SSD drive or micro SD? And the answer, it will be well packed and shipped. So I'm not exactly sure what they're talking about here. I think both the question and the answer are kind of confused. Let me know your theories in the comments below. Next question, will there be a LOKI Max Pro? And the answer is no. But I do also think, of course, there's going to be further devices after the LOKI Max and the LOKI comes out, you know, a year or two down the line. So yeah, I don't know, it's a weird question, but at this point, no, the Max is the best one you can get. Or rather, the most powerful in raw performance. Final question, for the AYN LOKI, will you send review units to YouTubers? And the answer is, sure. Oh hey, that's pretty cool. I'm gonna need to find out if I know any YouTubers who would really love to receive a review unit on the LOKI, especially like a YouTuber who's covered the LOKI Q&As or something like that. That would be really cool. Joking aside, I did actually expand upon this question in the Q&A itself, and I asked, since AOK Zoe sent their device out, they sent one prototype to a bunch of different YouTubers who sent it to each other in succession. Would they do something similar like that with an early prototype of the LOKI? And the answer was that they would like to, but they don't want to send one out that's broken like the AOK Zoe apparently was. I'm not going to comment on that particularly here, but I think it's cool that they might be open to that. And I would love to be on the list, AYN, if you're listening, Nicole, Starling, and all the others. Please send it to me as well. So there's one more section here to go over, which is the Odin. Questions relating to the Odin or the Odin 2. First question, any update on the Odin launcher? And the answer, it was 85% done and is still under development. I know people hate waiting, but I want to make this launcher praiseworthy. So they actually showed the Odin launcher just absolutely ages ago, and there's been absolutely no update since then. I think it's really cool that they're still working on it. I mean, they could just pull from the Retroid launcher. In fact, I'm pretty sure that's what they're doing, and they're just retheming it. But I don't know, I really hope they get this out soon because the Odin deserves a really good launcher. Next question. At this early stage, are there any ideas with what chipset you might be going with? And the answer, it was in planning, and with the new modern chipset from Qualcomm, and it will be picked at the end of December. So last time, in the last Q&A, I actually asked a similar question, which was, are you going to be doing a new Odin? And the answer was yes, and that they would be doing it with a top-of-the-line modern Qualcomm rather than a mid-range or old chip. So I'm really excited about this, and the fact that they're kind of already seem to be getting close to the design phase of the Odin 2 is really good. Next, are you planning on making the bootloader open? And the answer, not planned at this point, because the chipset will not have Windows on ARM support. So unlike the Snapdragon 845 on the original Odin, which does have Windows on ARM, the new one won't. And that's fine. I think Windows on ARM is a bit of a novelty anyway, but I know some people enjoy it, that's fine. But they also said, however, Linux should be possible for developers, which is great news. I really hope we get some custom Linux firmwares for these things. The thought of an Odin with a more like emulation station front end is really enticing to me. And the last question in this entire Q&A that we're covering, are you planning on using the same shell as the current Odin? If so, I believe a lot of the current Odin owners would appreciate a PCB upgrade kit, much like Retroid has done with the 2 and 2 Plus and the 3 and 3 Plus. Again, I know it's a lot for a product that most likely doesn't exist beyond a small note on a whiteboard in the back of your office, hey, just like the LOKI Mini Pro. But I think I speak for many of us when I say that we're looking forward to what's next in terms of ARM-based devices from you guys. And the answer from AYN, no, we will probably not reuse the current shell. Since this new chipset will be too advanced to reuse the same shell, I think it will require a brand new shell design, and it will have a lot of improvements compared to the Odin Pro. And I think the mainboard will take more than 80% of the device cost, so I don't think an upgrade PCB kit sounds to be a good idea for the Odin 2. Alright, so that brings us to an end of this Q&A. The next one will hopefully be sometime mid to end December. I will of course do another summary for that one as well. I don't know, what are the big bombshells from this Q&A? Really, I don't think there are that many because we're in the exact same situation we were in the last QA where we have just no information at all, and we haven't gotten any new information since then anyway. So really, I think we're just going to be... I think what will happen actually is that we'll probably get a render at the beginning of December and maybe some more information and how it's going to look, and then there'll be another QA after, and that one will be exciting. As for this one, I think the acknowledgement that the Crackgate Odin shell issue is actually a manufacturing defect is really huge, but I know that nobody except me is going to acknowledge that. And then I think that the LOKI Mini Pro not even remotely having a prototype is horrendous. Like, that is extremely bad. If you're waiting on a LOKI Mini Pro, I don't mean to rain on your parade, but I think you're going to be waiting a long time. Hopefully the fact that they can reuse the LOKI Max hardware will make it a bit quicker, but I don't know. That I said from the beginning that I think that they sold the LOKI without even a single prototype, and it looks like I was right. Anyway, all that said, I am very thankful to AYN for kicking it up a notch with their communication. We're not where we want to be with the LOKI and the news, but I really appreciate these Q&As, and especially I appreciate their candidness in their responses. So thank you AYN for this Q&A. Thank you to you for watching this video. Please leave a like and a comment below. Are you waiting on a LOKI? Or are you waiting on a LOKI Mini Pro? Uh-oh. Do let me know in the comments below. And of course, subscribe to my channel for more retro handheld videos, portable PCs, all that good stuff. Doing a lot of Linux content lately, it's all good. And I would greatly appreciate your subscription. This has been Sham from Retro Breeze, and I look forward to seeing you again very soon. And I look forward to AYN sending me a prototype or review unit of the AYN LOKI, right? Right guys? You're definitely going to do that, right? I think that would be the coolest thing that any company has ever done, and I think it would make AYN the best company ever, and it would definitely benefit AYN a lot, because if they did that, then I would be able to show people what it's like and then give feedback, and it would make the product better and everybody would really like it, and I think that it would just be like a really good